Welcome everyone to this solo playthrough of Dungeons & Dragons classic Lost Mine of Phandelver. This is the 5th episode in which our party ventures into the Redbrand Hideout on a mission to find the missing wizard Iarno Albreck, as well as to clear out the Redbrand gang and their leader Glasstaff. I hope you enjoy it, and please do let me know in the comments. Also, if you're enjoying this series and would like to download the graphics, then please consider supporting me on Patreon using the link in the description below. Last time, the party arrived in Phandelver and discovered that all was not well in the town. They heard about the Redbrands terrorising the town and rumours that the gang have a hideout under Trissander Manor, a large abandoned building on the east side of town. In addition, Sildar's friend and colleague, the wizard Iarno Albreck, who has gone missing, was last seen investigating around the manor. Finally, they learned from the young Carp Alderleaf that there is a tunnel leading from the back of the Alderleaf farm under Trissander Manor into the heart of the Redbrand Hideout. We join our party as they have just arrived at the tunnel entrance, shown to them by Carp, and they're about to enter. As they step from the warmth of a summer morning into the dark, dank tunnel, the adventurers feel an immediate shift. The bright sunlight gives way to darkness and shadow. The warmth is replaced by cool, moist air which chills their skin. There is a musty scent of damp earth and the occasional drip of water to accompany the echo of their footsteps. Valanthe casts dancing lights, and 4 glowing orbs appear, softly illuminating the damp earth walls as they make their way along the tunnel. She also calls her spirit familiar to her. This is a small owl which she has conjured with the Find Familiar ritual spell the previous evening. The owl perches on her shoulder and peers around with an air of intelligence and curiosity. After a few minutes, they emerge from the damp earthy tunnel into a large natural cavern. A cold breeze fills this large echoing chamber, carrying with it the faint scent of decaying flesh. A crevasse divides the cavern and is flanked by 2 rough stone columns that support the 20-foot-high ceiling. 2 arched wooden bridges span the chasm. The adventurers enter the cavern and look around at the shadowy expanse before them. Vandross is in the lead, followed by Merrick, Torga, and then Valanthe. The inhabitant of this cave has long since spotted them coming up the tunnel with its true sight, and is now lurking, hidden and unseen, watching the party with interest. As soon as he is within range, the creature targets Vandross with its psychic ability of weird insight. Vandross fails the deception check. He clutches his head as his mind is filled with weird whispers emanating from the hidden creature.
You're not an adventurer. You're just a dock worker, and they all know. They can see you don't know one end of a sword from another. Feed me, or I tell the world.
Vandross is doubled over, holding his head, as he replies, "No, you're wrong. I'm more than just a dock worker. I must redeem the village of Thundertree. Stop tormenting me." The others are suddenly spooked. "What is it, Vandross? What's going on?" says Torga. "There's an awful voice in my head, taunting me, whispering to me, telling me I'm no good." As Vandross continues to battle with the whispers in his head, the others spread out and look around, trying to discern what it is that is affecting him psychically. Merrick moves beyond the first pillar and looks around on the western side of the crevasse. He rolls a 10 for perception, which is well below the creature's stealth, so he fails to spot it. Torga moves onto the nearest bridge, which creaks and groans and then breaks completely under her weight. The ropes snap, and there is a clatter of wooden planks as she falls into the 20-foot deep crevasse. "Help!" she cries as she tumbles and sustains 10 points of damage. With the whispers now subsided, Vandross calls out to Torga. "Are you okay?" Vandross scrambles down the side of the pit to help her. As soon as he descends, he feels the odd chill in the pit. "Ugh, this place is awful." Valanthe then moves up and looks across to the eastern side of the crevasse. She rolls a 19 for perception. She gets a good view of that part of the cavern, but the creature still remains completely invisible. She then sends her owl familiar to swoop around the southern end of the cavern to detect what may be there. But even with its advantage on perception, it cannot spot anything. The weird creature giggles maniacally to itself. It then targets Torga with its weird insight, and she fails the deception check. She is still lying prone in the base of the crevasse. She doubles up and holds her head as her mind is filled with the weird whispers.
You're a deserter. A disgrace to the army. Call yourself a soldier. Feed me, or I tell the world.
Torga shakes her head, trying to rid herself of the weird, taunting voice. No, stop it. Get out of my head. I had good reason to reject those army orders. I did the right thing. Vandross kneels next to Torga as she lies prone in the pit, still holding her head. He looks along the length of the pit. He rolls a perception of 19. A short way in front of them, heaped among the broken and well-gnawed bones, is the half-eaten body of Deldendra, the woodcarver of Phandelver, who was murdered by the Redbrands. The outlaws left his corpse here for the inhabitant of this cave to feed on. Oh no, that must be the body of the missing person, says Vandross. How awful. Hold on, what's that? I can see something further up under the other bridge. In the shadows of the northern end of the crevasse, he can see a large old battered chest hidden beneath the wooden boards of the second bridge. Then Merrick moves up towards the second bridge. He still cannot see the creature. He has a good look at this bridge to make sure that it is safe to step on. He rolls a 6 for investigation. From what he can see, this bridge appears to be sturdy enough. Torga picks herself up in the crevasse and moves forward to see if there's anything she can do for the body lying in the pit. It's obvious there is not. Having not seen anything to the south, Valanthe then sends her owl on a loop around the northern end of the cavern. The owl swoops around the further pillar and returns, but still doesn't see the creature lurking in the cavern. This strange unseen creature now targets Merrick with its weird insight. He also fails the deception check.
You are lying. I can see lying to everyone, lying to this party, even lying to yourself. You were part of this Redbrand gang and you ran away because they tried they tried to kill you. I know who it was that wanted you dead, do you? Feed me, or I tell the world.
Merrick spins around, trying to see where the whispers are coming from. He shouts, No, these people are not my friends. Why should I tell them the truth? Which one of the Redbrands tried to kill me? Tell me. Vandross then moves forward along the pit to get a better view of the chest under the bridge. He rolls a 12 for investigation and realises that this must be the creature's treasure hoard. He shouts, Well, fiend, I don't know where you are or what you are, but I know something about you.
What? You cannot know anything about me.
I know where your treasure is stored. It's under this bridge, and I'm coming to get it.
No, I kill you first.
At this outburst, the source of the whispers emerges from behind the pillar. Its appearance is unsettling, a hunched, deformed figure with mottled, leathery skin, terrible talons, and sharp-bared fangs. The single large, green, baleful eye peers at them from the darkness, its gleam hinting at a weird intelligence and crazed malevolence.
Just kidding. I care nothing for these mundane trinkets. What do I care about such things? They are just placed here as tempting little morsels for adventurers like you.
The party are confused and taken aback by the creature's appearance as well as by its words. Merrick decides to attack. He knocks an arrow and immediately shoots. The critical hit strikes the creature's twisted form, burying deep into its flesh. A resounding impact echoes through the chamber as it recoils, its malevolent eye widening in surprise and pain. The weird creature turns to stare at Merrick with its single crazed eye and gives an awful hissing growl. Torga climbs up the east side of the crevasse and moves towards it. Now hold on, wherever you are, beast, we have you surrounded. The creature ignores Torga and casts rotting gaze at Merrick. The unblinking eye glows with an eerie intensity, and a blast of sickly green light surges forth and engulfs Merrick. Despite efforts to resist, the wave of unnatural energy courses through him, leaving behind a trail of decay and bringing him to the brink of collapse. Valanthe moves closer and says, Wait, be calm everyone. This isn't helping. I think I know what this is. It has got inside your mind, right? And told you your own secrets that you hardly admit to yourself, let alone the world? The others all nod to confirm this. Valanthe makes an arcana roll of 16. She speaks to the creature. You are a Nothic, am I right? You were once a wizard like me, but you were banished by Vecna to feed on the underworld of dirty secrets. At these words, the creature recoils into the shadows as if hit by a blast of bright light.
How dare you know secrets about me?
Wait, replies Valanthe. I do not mean to harm you. Maybe we can help each other. She rolls a persuasion check of 15.
Oh, the wizard will help me?
Yes, we have come here to stop the Redbrands and their leader from terrorizing Phandelver, she says. And we want to rescue Theldendra and his family who have been abducted, says Vandross. And we've come to find and rescue the wizard, Iarno Albreck, who disappeared around here recently, adds Torga. At this last point, the Nothic breaks down into uncontrollable laughter.
You do not know.
So how can we help each other, says Valanthe. You reveal the Redbrand secrets in exchange for what?
Well, I know all your secrets already.
The Nothic casts weird insight on Valanthe. She clasps her hands to her head in anticipation of the onslaught. I have nothing to hide, nothing to hide. The voice echoes through her mind.
You think you are better than me, Acolyte of Ogma. You think you are better than everyone. These party members are just pawns to you to be used to gain your goal.
Yes, I admit it. You're right, says Valanthe. Now you've taken all our secrets. Will you help us?
There is one thing that you can get for me, then I will help you. I want his staff, so I can be a wizard again.
Staff? What staff? Says Vandross.
You know, Glasstaff's staff.
Oh, you mean the staff that the wizard Glasstaff owns? The Glasstaff, says Torga.
Yes. The stupid dwarven army cleric has got it. Amazingly.
Okay, we will get his staff for you. Where is he?
He is behind you.
The Nothic points behind Merrick to a passage which leads away from the cavern. Merrick swings round in alarm, thinking that Glasstaff is right behind him. But the passage is empty.
But wait, you need to surprise him without alerting the rat.
The rat? Says Valanthe.
Yes, he has a rat. Like you have an owl, you must go the secret way, so the rat doesn't see. Then he will be easy to defeat. Then you can get this staff and bring it to me, and I will be happy. Shadius will be happy.
Shadius? That was your name? Says Torga.
No. Name secret name. Just get me the staff, and I tell you all the Redbrand secrets.
So the party all cross the bridge and head into the storeroom to the north to find the secret passage. This area is at the north end of the natural cavern. It has been finished with dressed stone block walls and a flagstone floor. Several barrels are stored against the walls here, along with a number of empty crates, straw for packing, hammers, pry bars and nails. As Merrick is badly wounded, they decide to stop for a short rest. Both he and Torga regain 10 hit points. So what did the Nothic say? A secret way, says Torga. Torga's passive perception is lower than the difficulty check of a secret door. But it's just a storeroom. I can't see any passage to the west. Well, says Valanthe, it's secret. We have to search the wall for it. She starts to search the western wall. She runs her fingers over the stone and then feels a change in the texture. She makes a perception roll of 13, which is enough to spot the secret door. Yes, here it is. She pushes on the stone at the point where the texture changes, and the block swings back to reveal a staircase descending down to the right. They creep down the stairs, and again Valanthe and Torga scrutinise the western wall for a further secret door. Valanthe rolls for perception again, this time with advantage as Torga is helping to search. Again she spots a distinct change in the stone texture and pushes the stone door open to reveal a room beyond. The walls of this bedchamber are covered with drapes of scarlet cloth. The furnishings include a small writing desk with a matching chair, a comfortable-looking bed, and a wooden chest at the foot of the bed. Sitting at the desk is a short, dark-bearded human male in robes, studying a tome. He wears a princely mantle of ermine. A beautiful glass staff leans against his chair within easy reach. This is the wizard Glasstaff. He leaps up in surprise as Valenthe pushes open the door. He instinctively grabs his staff and cries out in alarm.
What? How the hell did you people get in here?
As Glasstaff is surprised, the party get a round of attack against him. Valenthe swiftly moves into the room and casts Ray of Frost with disadvantage due to her proximity. The frigid beam grazes Glasstaff, inflicting a mere flicker of damage, yet the slow is still effective. A shiver of cold courses through him as his movement is restricted. Torga then enters the room and casts Sacred Flame. However, Glasstaff quickly sidesteps, narrowly evading the searing radiance as it passes by harmlessly. Vandross raises his greatsword high as he enters the room. He brings it crashing down onto Glasstaff with a powerful sweep. The wizard recoils under the blow, the pain and surprise evident on his features. Merrick moves up behind Vandross, but can't get a line of sight to take a shot. Following the surprise round, we roll for initiative. Glasstaff takes the lead.
You'll not defeat me that quickly,
he shouts. He casts Misty Step. His form disappears in a cloud of silvery mist. Through the open door, they see him instantly reappear in the workshop beyond. He then moves out of sight, up to the next door, which is closed. Vandross chases after him and easily closes the gap. He strikes the wizard again with his greatsword. This time, Glasstaff uses his shield reaction to increase his armour. The arcane barrier shimmers as the greatsword is deflected. Valenthe then follows into the workshop and attempts to charm Glasstaff with hypnotic gaze. But he succeeds on the wisdom save and easily resists the influence. Torga runs in and casts Guiding Bolt. A bright flash of light erupts from her and shoots towards Glasstaff. However, her aim is off, and the radiant energy merely splashes on the wall beside him. Merrick then joins the others in the workshop. He raises his short bow and shoots an arrow. This streaks towards Glasstaff, but is harmlessly deflected by the magical shield. Glasstaff uses his action to open the workshop door and runs as fast as he can towards the cavern area. This time, Vandross gets an opportunity attack, but the sword swishes through the air just short of the wizard as he swiftly moves out of range. Vandross runs after him. He manages to get right behind Glasstaff. He attempts to strike with his greatsword, but the blade catches on the wall of the narrow passage and he misses. Valenthe and the others all follow along the passage behind Vandross, but they cannot get line of sight on the retreating wizard. Glasstaff casts Misty Step again to get away from Vandross. He disappears into the cloud of silvery mist and reappears on the far side of the crevasse. He then pauses as the Nothic appears from behind the pillar in front of him.
Oh, excellent, Nothy. Thank goodness you're here. Take care of this lot, would you, while I take my leave?
The Nothic's single large eye first alights on the staff the wizard is carrying, and then moves to look at the party behind. So he asks the question, does the Nothic obey Glasstaff, or does he have allegiance to the deal struck with the party? We roll an 11, so this is yes but. So maybe he will only obey Glasstaff on a certain condition.
Give me your staff, wizard, and I will do as you ask. I want the wizard's staff.
Don't be silly, Nothy. I've given you plenty of treasure already. And you have a nice corpse there to feed on.
Treasure's not enough. Food not enough. I want the glass staff.
You're not a wizard, Nothy. What would you do with a wizard's staff? Now be a good boy and let me pass.
Nothy was a wizard once. Nothy will be a wizard again.
The creature uses rotting gaze on Glasstaff. A torrent of green light surges forth with a vengeance, and the wizard staggers as the dark energy blasts into him. He fails to resist, and his skin blackens as the necrotic magic takes hold. With only one hit point remaining, he falls to his knees and lets the staff drop to the floor.
No, Nothy! How could you betray me?
The staff rolls towards the Nothic, who grabs it excitedly and starts stroking it and whispering to himself. The party come into the cavern and start to cross the bridge to reach the fallen wizard to take him prisoner. He scrambles round to face them.
Adventurers, I throw myself on your mercy. Please spare me. I surrender. I will tell you everything I know.
However, as soon as Merrick gets line of sight on his avowed enemy, Glasstaff, he shoots his shortbow. The arrow thunks into the centre of the wizard's chest, and he slumps to the floor. Merrick, what are you doing? Cries Torga. He was surrendering. You don't give orders for Merrick to be killed and get away with it, hisses Merrick. The others all rush forward, but it is too late. Glasstaff is dead. But he could have given us information, says Vandross, like where is Theldendra and his family? And where is Iarno Albreck, adds Torga. Valanthe looks over at the Nothic and says, Can you tell us? The Nothic looks up from happily gazing at the glass staff.
Yes! Nothing knows all secrets. That is Theldendra.
And he points to the half-eaten body of Theldendra in the crevasse. Oh dear, I see, says Valanthe. And his family?
They are in the cells behind the crypt. Go east and through the other secret door.
And where is Iarno Albreck? Is he in the cells too? Asked Torga.
You still do not know, stupid cleric. I tell you the secret. This is Iarno. Glasstaff is Iarno. Iarno is Glasstaff.
What? I don't believe it, says Torga. You're lying to us.
Oh, no, Nothing never lies, not about secrets. Go, look in his room.
Thank you, Nothi. You've been a great help to us, says Valanthe. She starts to turn away.
Wait, I have a gift for you and your friends.
The Nothic drops into the crevasse, dragging Glasstaff's body behind it. It opens the old wooden chest beneath the bridge and places the glass staff carefully inside. It then draws out a long sword in a silver chased scabbard. It scampers back up out of the crevasse and bows as it hands over the sword to Valanthe. Thank you, Nothi, says Valanthe. We are forever in your debt, and she returns the bow.
Ah, thank you, pretty lady wizard. You are welcome here, always.
The Nothic then jumps back down into the crevasse and starts gnawing happily on Glasstaff's body. Merrick comes over to Valanthe and takes an interest in the gifted sword. Oh, that's a very nice sword he gave you. They can both see that this long sword is inscribed with the name Talon, and its hilt is worked in the shape of a bird of prey with outspread wings. Valanthe makes a history check of 14, which just fails the DC of 15. Yes, I'm sure there's some history behind this sword that I've read about, but I can't recall the details now. I'll have to look it up. I could make good use of that sword, says Merrick, and I was the one that finished Glasstaff off. I should have it. Well, I think Vandross should have it, says Torga. He was invaluable in the battle with Glasstaff, and I think it's probably a bit long and heavy for you, Merrick. Merrick scowls at Torga. Well, says Vandross, I'm used to wielding a greatsword, but I'm sure I could learn to use such a beautiful longsword. Valanthe looks over at Merrick, and then at Vandross, and then back down at the sword. She's clearly weighing up the choice in her mind. And there we will leave our adventurers for now, with the shocking discovery that Iarno Albreck was the Redbrand leader Glasstaff, and with Valanthe trying to decide who should receive the longsword gifted to her by the Nothic. Let me know in the comments who you think should receive this longsword, and your reasons why. And then tune in again next time to discover what else awaits the party in the Redbrand Hideout.